Matter is found in three states, namely solid, liquid, and gases. We will study each state and its properties in this chapter. Solid. In a solid, the atoms are closely packed together. Solids have a definite shape. Solids have a fixed volume. Solids are rigid. Solids cannot be compressed. Let us understand each of these properties one by one. Over here, I have taken the example of a wood. Now, wood is a solid. So, how does it look like from the interior? Well, in a solid, the molecules are very tightly packed together. The force of attraction between the molecules is very strong. There are almost no spaces between the molecules of a solid. The next property is regarding the volume of a solid. So first let us understand what is the meaning of volume. So volume is basically the space that an object occupies. Now solids have a definite, that is a fixed volume. The reason why solids have a fixed volume is because the molecules are very tightly packed together, and this makes the solid to have a fixed volume. The next property that the solid possesses is rigidity. Well, what is the meaning of being rigid? So it refers to the property by which solids retain their shape when external force is applied on it. Let us try to understand the meaning of rigidity with the help of an example. So, what did we learn about it? We learned that substances are said to be rigid when they do not change their shape when external force is applied. Let us understand with the help of an example. If we have a stone and from all the sides we apply external force, what will happen? Will the shape change? No. The shape of the stone does not change. Hence, we can say that the stone is rigid in nature. However, on applying more force, the stone may break, but it is extremely hard to change the shape. Hence, we can say that the stone is rigid. That means the shape of solid does not change on external forces applied. However, the solid may break on appliance of further force. The next property is compressibility. So, compressibility is the measure of how much a given volume of matter decreases when placed under pressure. Solids cannot be compressed. Let us understand with the help of an example. So, solids are incompressible. That means when we apply pressure from all the sides on the solid, its volume will remain the same. The volume remains unchanged. Once again, let us take the example of a stone. When we apply pressure on the stone from all the sides, does the volume change? No, the volume remains the same. Hence, we can understand that in case of solids, when we apply pressure, the volume remains constant. The volume does not change. Hence, solids are incompressible in nature. Now, the next state of matter that we have to study is liquids. Now, liquid molecules have spaces between them, and the force of attraction between the molecules is less as compared to the solid. Over here, we can see in the image that the molecules of liquid have spaces between them. So, the first property of liquids is that liquids do not have their own shape. They easily take up the shape of the container in which they are kept. However, they do have a fixed volume. Liquids can be measured using the volume. So, one example could be when in the evening you see that the milkman arrives in your house, he measures the milk and give it to you, isn't it? So what is he measuring? He is basically measuring the volume of the milk. Hence we can say that the liquids can be measured using their volume because liquids have a fixed volume. Next is fluidity. So, liquids can flow, isn't it? What will happen if you just drop a glass of water on the floor? The liquid will spill all over your house, isn't it? That means the water has the capacity to flow. So why does it happen that the water in the river flows? The reason for it is because in case of liquids, the molecules are far away from each other, because of which there are spaces and the molecules can move slightly from one place to another. That makes the liquid fluid. That means your liquids are allowed to flow because of the weak intermolecular forces and because of the spaces between the molecules. Next property is that liquids flow from a higher to lower level. Have you ever seen a waterfall? How does the water really fall? The water falls from a higher level to a lower level. While you're pouring tea or coffee in your mug, the mug is kept at a lower level. However, the teapot is kept at a higher level. Isn't it? So, what do we understand? That liquids flow from a higher to lower level. That is certainly one of the reasons why the water tanks are placed on top of the roof, because the water flows from higher to the lower level. Now, the next property of liquids is that the melting point of liquid is below room temperature. However, the boiling point of the liquid is above the room temperature. Let us understand with the help of an example. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Now 100 degrees Celsius is quite higher than the normal room temperature. So what did we conclude? We concluded that the melting point of the liquids is below room temperature. However, the boiling point is above the room temperature.